Hello, this is Lillian, and I'm going to be talking here about the review for English methods. I'm going to go ahead and start with the overlying themes. Two of the main themes that I noticed were background knowledge and sequencing. And in background knowledge, Marzano speaks about direct and indirect background knowledge and speaks about how us as educators should focus on getting some indirect background knowledge into the classroom for those students who don't necessarily have the means to get direct background knowledge through museums or libraries or what have you. Also, Piaget talks about schema and also mentions about how students having schema is necessary for cognitive development because it's the base of what students know in the about the world around them, and we can build on that. The second theme, sequencing ELA, it's very much about putting things in the right order for students to be able to understand much more effectively what they're reading. And one of the main ways to do this was through close reading, which Smoker, Gallagher, and the ERWC document all point towards. So Smoker talks about introduction of different words before bringing in the actual text. Gallagher speaks about introducing topics and pre-reading. And the ERWC document talks about pre-reading with a purpose. So all these themes are really big in our course. The salient message in all of the readings combined I saw were to tell educators to get creative. It's telling us educators to stay away from the old ways, and by that I mean just assigning readings and that being that, or giving students just definitions to recite or memorize, and instead go towards closer reading, which the Burke article really focused on. Get more creative in the way that we are actually presenting information to our students and having them give the information back to us. Along with this, getting creative vocabulary builds on the idea that educators should be getting creative with how they're presenting information to their students. So Fieldman, Bromley, and Burke articles all kind of really implement the closer reading strategies in order to teach vocab. So Burke, for example, speaks about getting all sorts of different kinds of materials, context, just building their library of words that they know from all different contexts. And Bromley kind of agrees with this idea, and he claims that this will help build a schema that kids can then use to understand their readings. And the third one, Billman Kinsley, kind of just talks about ensuring that your kids are actually understanding. So, did they understand the text in the pre-read? Do they have a goal in their second read? Can they analyze by the third read? So on and so forth. Another part of getting creative was implementing scaffolding in ways that can reach EL 504, IEPs, and just all of the student population in general. It's important to keep in mind that these scaffolding are not permanent. They are meant to be eventually removed, and kids are supposed to be slowly gaining autonomy and learning for themselves. But it's very, very useful way to teach students and make sure that they're understanding what you are teaching. So scaffolding can include things like templates, group work, all really good ways to do that. So this is my review of the unit so far. Thank you for watching.